Hey, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I have an important announcement to make, and that is I finally managed to get Metal support for my game engine. And yeah, so in this video, I'm going to show you the challenges that I had to face and how I managed to actually implement this, and how you guys can also manage to essentially implement this in your own game engines and add Metal support. And believe it or not, it's actually quite simple depending on which programming languages you guys are using. They actually are two ways to go about this, and in this video I'm going to talk about those two different ways. So yeah, so what are those two different ways? Number one is either you can use Objective-C, which then gives you access to Metal and all the other Apple related header files, and it just makes your life really easy because you don't really have to rely on any external third-party libraries, etc. And then the other way is if you are using C++, you can essentially use a library that Apple developed, which is called Metal CPP. And now, what is Metal CPP? Well, Metal CPP is a low overhead C++ interface for Metal that helps you add Metal functionality to graphics apps, games, and game engines that are written in C++. So if you're a C++ developer, then I guess this is for you. However, I'm a C developer, so I don't really need this. And the beauty with working with C is we all know that C is a low level programming language, meaning that we don't have these fancy stuff that C++ has, you know, those vectors and all these other cool stuff that makes your life easy. And you know, we don't have that in C, and it's the beauty that C essentially gives you as a developer. It literally just teaches you to do things manually and to do things yourself from scratch without any help, and it really just improves your coding skills, and it just makes life a little bit more cool, you know. So how did I do this? So let me go down to the renderer file, and the renderer for the Metal graphics API for this game engine is essentially written in Objective-C. Alright, and Objective-C is Apple's programming language, which essentially is used to develop applications for any Apple device, I believe. Right now, Objective-C is relatively old, so just like C is old, Objective-C is super old as well for Mac related development. However, it's still relevant even today. We still have developers that are using Objective-C to build Mac OS applications and all the other stuff that are basically Apple related. So yeah, don't throw shade on the language. It's still beautiful, still works, still functional, and it can literally help you in terms of basically building a game engine, and you want to add Metal support to your game engine. So yeah, so if you look at this file here, let's see how many lines of code this is. This is well below 135 lines of code. Now I did kind of abstract the drawing out to just create my own game renderer, my game object renderer object here, to essentially allow me to sort of like draw multiple game objects. Right now you're just seeing one quad, but if I were to duplicate this, it will draw another quad on top of that quad. It's just that I haven't added positioning here yet, so it'll just be drawn on top of that. So I just sort of like abstracted that part out. It's still experimental. This is not really how I want to use it, so don't focus too much on that. But yeah, it's really just under 100 lines of code, 140 lines of code essentially, to actually get the Metal renderer set up. It's pretty small, it's pretty easy to use, and compared to Vulkan, whereby in Vulkan you literally have to write like 1,000 lines of code just to draw a triangle, and then an extra 500 or so more just to get everything optimized and fully working with stephomores and all of this and all of that. So it just gets way too cluttered, and it's quite a lot that you have to write. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to write a lot here either, because this is just a basic renderer. However, I still have to add in support for all the other cool stuff, so this file will definitely also grow in size. But the fact is just to draw a triangle, this is literally all you need. It's pretty simple, it's pretty lightweight, it's really not a lot of work. Right now, how was it? Was it really easy? Was it difficult? Honestly speaking, because I've already worked with Metal before, in Swift, this wasn't really a challenge. The only thing I really had to learn was to use Objective-C, right? Because I'm not really good with Objective-C, so I just had to relearn it a little bit more, even though I kind of had experience with it since I had already developed my own platform layer a while back. So it's really nothing really hectic, but yeah, Objective-C is really not that hard to work with, and the beauty about Objective-C is it works hand in hand with C. So yeah, and what I mean by that, if I jump to VS Code here, this is the old implementation of the renderer, and if you look carefully, that the renderer is written in C, but we have some weird syntax here. Import, that is Objective-C. This right here, this is Objective-C. These brackets that you see here, those are Objective-C. NS error, NS error, I'm literally calling the NS related stuff, which are Apple related stuff, through these imports right here, right? So you can see that Objective-C and C belong to the same family, and therefore you can sort of mix them into one file. And do I recommend this? Well, if you're working in VS Code, no, I don't recommend this. Reason being is you're always going to have these squiggly lines at the bottom, which will always give you the impression that something is wrong, whereby something is not. So if I were to compile this and just let it compile everything for me there, and then it's just compiling some source files, and then if I run this, you'll see that we have a basic triangle here, meaning that this is relevant, this is functional, this is possible, and this works. Well, I'm running out of memory. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, okay, I'm running out of memory, so let me close this, and I should probably close Xcode since I'm running out of memory and I'm recording this video. So I guess I'll just end the video right here, since I believe I've shared everything that is kind of needed to essentially build your own Metal backend. However, if you guys want me to actually build one from scratch on a tutorial video, do hit me up in the comment sections below, because there are some edge cases that you have to be aware of. And you can see that I commented some lines here, and yeah, these are the edge cases that I'm talking about, which I won't really talk about in this video. And also some edge cases are in relation to the shaders. You have to essentially compile the shaders, whereby in Xcode these shaders actually compiled for you automatically. The moment you click run, Xcode just compiles them right off the bat, and it loads them on your application right off the bat, given that you're using the proper call to get those shader libraries. So yeah, so there is some gotchas that you gotta know about, but if you guys want me to do a tutorial video from the ground up building this out outside of Xcode or within Xcode, do hit me up in the comment sections below, and I'll show you guys how to do this. So yeah, so what's coming up in the future? Tutorials. I know I haven't done tutorials in a very long time, however I think I should be doing those again. So tutorials are definitely coming. The shader series will definitely be continuing, because I feel like I kind of neglected the shader series. So the shader series is coming back. I'll be doing more shader related tutorials, and then I'll also be doing more renderer related tutorials, how to do certain things such as alpha and all of that cool stuff, alpha blending and all those other stuff. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video and would like to support this channel, do hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.